Before the service began, I was standing out front, and one of my neighbors was walking by. I'm standing out there like this, gleaming in the sunlight. He says, "Oh, great turnout." He's looking at the cars. I said, "Yes, brother. It's Good Friday." And his eyes lit up. He says, "Oh, that's right. It's Easter this weekend." I said, "Exactly, brother. It's Easter this weekend." And he kept on walking. And he had a little pep in his step, like, it's Easter this weekend. He was happy. But he must have been shocked. He said, "Why are they gathered here on a random Friday afternoon? It's 3 p.m. There's no more perfect time, is there? Well, we started at 3 p.m. I don't know about you, but my heart is heavy. In this beautiful Good Friday service, by the way, this is not a Mass. This is the only day on earth where there was no Mass said. Usually now, at any given moment, the church is so big now, we're 1.3 billion people. At every given moment, on any single day, you can always be rest assured that there's always a Mass, always continually being offered all across the globe as the earth rotates. There's always praises going up to heaven. Except this day. The church is silent as the world goes on. The church, her prayers cease. Her eyes gazes upon the crucified one. In this beautiful Good Friday service, it is split up to 3 parts: the liturgy of the word, the solemn intercessions will come next after my brief homily, God willing, and then Holy Communion. And then we'll disperse in silence. St. Maximilian Kolbe called the cross the school of love. Isn't that beautiful? St. Maximilian Kolbe, he says the cross, when we gaze upon it, again, why we always have a crucified Lord in all of our churches, it's never a barren cross. It's always Jesus battered and bloodied, always his entire body on full display. He called it the school of love. What is it about school? It is school where we go to learn. Maximilian Kolbe would learn this lesson well. You see, Maximilian Kolbe in 1941, he would die in probably one of the most darkest places, which is opposite of love, on earth. I see many of you are already nodding your heads. Maximilian Kolbe would be killed in Auschwitz, the German Nazis' most efficient and brutal of their concentration camp. It's a beautiful story now. Notice Maximilian Kolbe, who said that the cross is the school of love. He was standing there in the morning count of the prison camp. So the Nazis had a system that every day, every morning, that they would count the prisoners and make sure that nobody had escaped. Because the policy was that if they were missing one prisoner, they would execute 10 in its place in order to discourage prisoners from fleeing. And so that particular day, it turned out that there was one prisoner missing. And so now imagine this in your mind's eye, there's hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of Jewish prisoners. It was a mix, primarily Jewish, but many priests among them, many enemies of the Nazi state standing in front of them. The Nazi guard walking up and down the line, randomly pointing. You. 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 He would choose 10 in order to execute them through starvation. The last man the Nazi guard pointed to was a husband and a father. And when the Nazi guard pointed at him, it said that the prisoner grabbed the feet of the commandant, the Nazi guard, begging him, I beg you, please do not kill me. I'm a husband, I'm a father. Please don't kill me. At that moment, Father Maximilian Kolbe took one step forward. I will take the place of that man, he said. The Nazi guard turned to him and said, almost shocked, said, who are you? You know what Father Maximilian said? Beautifully. He simply said, I am a Catholic priest. Amazingly, the guard responded, you crazy priest, and in fact he agreed, and he swapped places with the prisoner. And for the next few days, they would be locked in this cellar. And in fact, if you go to Poland today, just outside of Krakow, you can still go to the bunker where this happened. In fact, the room where Maximilian Kolbe died, there's a little candle there now, lit perpetually. Why did Father Maximilian Kolbe do that? He sacrificed his life for a man he did not know. Go back to the cross. What did he call it? It's the school of love. That single step which separated life from death. That single step, yes, measured in inches. But in order for him to take that step, behind that meager step forward was thousands and thousands, years upon years, of him on his knees in prayer, staring at a crucifix. You see, when Jesus Christ laid down his life for us on this day, Christ was answering the question, does God really love me? He was answering that question. Remember, it always harkens back to Genesis. We always must keep Genesis and the gospel reading today. We must always keep them in mind. Because what happens in Genesis? The seed of doubt slithers its way into the heart of humanity. We do not trust God. We do not. And so Christ now, he comes. When you look at Jesus Christ, ask yourself the question in your prayer. Does God love me? Ask yourself that question. Does God love me? Even despite my sins, in the ugliness of my vices, does he love me? See, the serpent will say to you, no, he doesn't. Did God really say that to you? He'll slither that doubt into our hearts. And then what's the unfolding result of that? The rest of our lives, we search for love in all the wrong places. Search no longer. Stop looking. It's not found in the world. It's right here. 3 p.m. Random afternoon.